Romans chapter 8, verse 31. What then shall we say to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? No man is an island, entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. In this quote by John Donnes, he expresses the fact that we are all part of something greater and we are all connected together. Nobody is or can live life in complete solitude. There are parts of our lives that will interconnect and interact with someone along the way. This is important to remember when we are being tempted by sin. So often we will give into sin simply because of peer pressure. We need to keep in mind what Paul tells us in Romans chapter 8. If God is for us, who can be against us? Judges chapter 7, verses 1 through 7 recounts the story of Gideon when he was preparing an army to go to battle against the Midianites. He had gathered his army together, but the Lord said to Gideon, "There are too many men in this army." The Lord had told Gideon that they will think that they had won the battle by their own merit. So by God's instructions, Gideon told the men if they were afraid to go to battle, then they should go home. 22,000 men left and went home, leaving Gideon with 10,000 men to go into battle with. Verse number 3. The Lord came to Gideon again and said, "There are still too many men to go into battle." So he told Gideon to take them to the stream and have them drink. Anyone who drinks down on their knees was to be sent home. Anyone who cups their hands and drinks from their hand will stay and go into battle. Verses 5 and 6. The total number that stayed to go to battle with Gideon was 300 men. As we read later in chapter 7, verses 16 through 25, the Israelites were successful in defeating the Midianites. But it was not by their own accord. It was truly by the will of God that they were able to defeat this nation. Gideon divided the men into 3 different groups and gave each man a trumpet and a glass pitcher. And when Gideon blew the trumpet, each man in the army did the same and broke the glass pitcher that he had. The Lord also set every man's sword on fire, which terrified the Midianite nation, and they ran from camp. There are times we feel like we are alone as well. There are times that when we are tempted with sin, we can give in simply because we feel like we're alone. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. No temptation has overtaken you except such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able. But with the temptation will also make the way of escape, that you may be able to bear it.